very warm welcome to Thorough Newspaper Analysis for 29th of March, which is brought to you by LawSikho. Now let's proceed with the agenda for today. At the very outset, we're going to have a look at some important national and international news updates. This is going to be followed by two legal news updates, and at the very end, we have an editorial to discuss. Essentially, this editorial talks about the sector-specific need for having data protection regulations in place. Now moving on to the first update that we have with respect to a sports event, which is the Swiss Open tournament. Indian men's double pair of Satwik-Chirag Rankireddy and Chirag Shetty, they capped off their impressive campaign with a title win, beating China's Ren Xiang Yu and Tan Qiang in the final of the Swiss Open badminton tournament. The next update is with respect to poll ambassadors appointed by the Election Commission. So recently, Manoj Kumar Meena, who is the Chief Electoral Officer for the state of Karnataka, he stated that Miss Manjamma Jogati, the transgender folk dancer who is the former chairperson of Karnataka Janpad Academy and a Padma Shri awardee, has been chosen as a poll ambassador apart from others. As far as the others on the list are concerned, we have cricketer Rahul Dravid, we have Gyanpith awardee Chandrasekhar Kambara, we have visually challenged person from Belako Academy Ashwini Angadi, and Paralympian Grish Govda. According to data, as far as let's have an understanding of what the transgender community representation or dynamics is when it comes to voting ratio. So transgender voters have increased from being under 5,000 in the year 2018 to now being 42,000 plus in the year 2023. Moving on to the next update, which is with respect to the discovery of a new species of Moray eel. See, this particular researchers recently have discovered a new species of Moray eel. This was discovered off the Cuddalore Coas, and these are a family of eels found worldwide. They primarily rely on their highly developed sense of smell since they have very small eyes, and they're found in shallow water among reeds and rocks in all tropical and subtropical areas. These newly discovered species, they have been named after the state of Tamil Nadu, and they have the common name of Tamil Nadu brown moray. Moving on to the next update, this is an interesting development. So recently, IDFC First Bank is going to join the pilot project of RBI to make digital cash transfers possible offline. On Monday, IDFC First Bank partnered with a Swedish company with the name of which is Crunchfish to pilot a project demonstrating offline retail payments. It'll be part of RBI's pilot project to enable offline payments, and the project, it will provide digital payments even without a network. Crunchfish has designed a unique digital payment solution for merchants and customers under RBI's regulatory sandbox program. And as far as the bank is concerned, it stated in a statement that the project will support digital cash platform based offline retail payments in the Indian payments ecosystem. IDFC First Bank will be one of the first few banks to participate in the IDFC Bank pilot project. Moving on to the next update, which is coming from the state of Assam. So recently, Assam ने 31st of March को declare कर दिया Student Day. This day will be dedicated in the memory of the renowned Bodo social activist Upendranath Brahma. This decision was announced by the Assam Education Minister, who is Ranoj Pegu, and he also stated that apart from this celebration, the minister has also decided to launch several education scholarship schemes and fee waivers for female candidates. And with this, we have another update, which is with respect to the Isha Ambani winning GenNext Entrepreneur Award. Isha Ambani, who is the director of Reliance Retail Ventures, she has received the GenNext Entrepreneur Award for scaling up Reliance Retail into the biggest retailer in India by revenue and store network, building a formidable omni-channel presence. With this, we've come to the international segment. First Citizens Bank acquires Silicon Valley Bank. The Silicon Valley Bank was once the top lender in the Silicon Valley and is now the epicenter of the banking turmoil जो कि US में चल रहा है. And First Citizens Bank and Trust Company, they agreed with the Federal Deposit Insurance aspiration to purchase out of FDIC receivership substantially along with all loans and certain other assets and certain other liabilities of Silicon Valley Bridge Bank. Now with this we've come to the legal update segment for today. सुप्रीम कोर्ट ने हाल ही में ये हेल्ड किया है कि एज पर दी सेंट्रल सर्विस सिविल सर्विसेज पेंशन रूल्स ऑफ 1972 period of services rendered as a contractual employee cannot be said to be service rendered on a substantial appointment. Hence, such service as a contractual employee will not qualify as service for pensionary benefit. The Honorable Apex Court held this in the case of Director General Doordarshan Prasar Bharti Corporation versus Shrimati Magi H. Desai. Now, the next update is again from the Honorable Supreme Court. The bench of the Honorable Apex Court, while adjudicating an appeal filed in the case of State of Gujarat and others versus Jayanti Bai Ishwar Bai Patel, has reiterated that a land acquisition would be deemed to lapse under the provisions of Section 24, subsection 2 of the Land Acquisition Act of 2013 if there is a lapse on the part of the acquiring body or beneficiary in not taking the possession as well as not paying the compensation. These two twin conditions, they have to be satisfied, the Honorable Apex Court noted. This particular development has come up in the case of State of Gujarat and others versus Jayanti Bai Ishwar Bai Patel. Now with this, we've come to the editorial for today, which was published in The Hindu. It's an interesting editorial indeed. So see, in this particular editorial, it discusses the need for having sector-specific regulations of data privacy. These are the topics or subtopics जिस पे हम बात करेंगे. पहला तो of course we're going to have an understanding of why of this editorial, कि why, what is the importance of this particular article, and this is going to be followed by having an understanding of how the Data Protection Bill of 2022 it lacks clarity on its interaction with sector specific regulation जो कि अभी इंडिया में है. तो there are two examples cited in this editorial itself कि ये दो sector specific regulation है. तो ये जो 2022 का जो बिल है उसमें clarity नहीं है when it comes to its interaction with those sector specific regulation. Thirdly, we are going to have a look at the crucial role of sectoral experts. जो सेक्टर के एक पर्टिकुलर सेक्टर के जो एक्सपर्ट्स हैं उनका क्या क्रूशियल रोल होगा इस पर्टिकुलर प्रोसेस में. एंड देन वी आल्सो गोइंग टू हैव ए लुक एट ग्लोबल ट्रेंड्स कि what is the mechanism adopted in the United States and what is the mechanism adopted in the United Kingdom, and this is going to be followed by the author's suggestion of a need for clarity in this particular bill, and at the very end we're going to have a look at some of the examples of these sectoral regulation जो कि अभी इंडिया में एग्जिस्ट कर रहे हैं एंड उन पे क्या इफेक्ट पड़ेगा इस बिल का, एंड फिर ऑथर का जो पार्टिंग नोट है दैट वी गोइंग टू हैव अ लुक एट. So first of all, let's understand the why of this editorial or the article. So essentially, जैसा कि हम जानते हैं अभी हम काफ़ी strongly we are moving towards becoming a digital economy, and हमारा काफ़ी सारा जो ecosystem है वो digital base हो गया है. अभी shopping और education, government policies, everything is shifting on the digital platforms, and Indian digital economy, it is set to reach a whopping $1 trillion by 2026. So therefore, it becomes all the more important at this point in time to understand that as we embrace convenience, we are also generating a massive load of data. तो इसीलिए ये बहुत ज़रूरी हो जाता है that we know our rights of data protection and how the legal mechanism works. See, as far as the legal mechanism of legal framework of data protection is concerned, the Digital Personal Data Protection Bill of 2022 that was proposed recently, it comes after 5 years of discussion and deliberation on a framework to safeguard citizens' information from misuse and unauthorized access. And even as the bill, it outlines citizens' rights over their personal data and the responsibility of data collectors, it lacks specificity in certain clauses such as the interaction with sectoral data protection regulations. So essentially ये editorial इस concern को highlight करता है कि although ये जो bill है इसमें outline कर दिए कि citizens के क्या क्या right होंगे over their personal data and responsibilities क्या होंगी जो data collectors के होंगे. स्टिल इस बिल में क्लैरिटी नहीं है कि हाउ इट इज गोइंग टू इंटरैक्ट विद सेक्टोरल स्पेसिफिक रेगुलेशंस. So now let's understand कि इस बिल में क्या क्या provisions है if at all with respect to its interaction with sector specific regulations. So see the current draft of the bill, it tries to tackle the issue of conflicting sector specific regulations in terms of section 29, जो कि दो बातें करता है primarily. पहले तो it states that the provisions of the bill, it will complement and not create exemptions from existing regulations. सो एसेंशियली वो कह रहा है कि ये जो बिल होगा ये एक कॉम्प्लीमेंट्री रोल प्ले करेगा जो एग्जिस्टिंग रेगुलेशन होगा. However, secondly, it adds that in case of conflict, the bill will take precedence. The bill is going to prevail in case of any conflict with these sector-specific regulations. So now let's understand कि sector-specific regulations क्यों ज़रूरी होते हैं and experts की जो advice है वो भी क्यों ज़रूरी होती है इसमें, and why this prevalence which is given to the bill, it may not be the correct way to forward. So essentially, data protection and privacy, these are highly dependent on context, including the type of data which is collected, how data is collected, and intended use of data and the associated risks. So different sectors के associated risks, data intention क्या है कि where are we going to use the data, how it is collected, all of these differ. So therefore, this makes sectoral expertise crucial to regulate effectively. Sectoral experts, they offer a deep understanding of a particular sector, including its market dynamics, the technologies, the risks, and the business models involved. तो इस सब में क्या होता है कि it becomes very important for us to have a say of what the experts of the particular field have, so as to enable regulators to engage with the stakeholders to understand the problem better and be well informed. अब हम बात करते हैं ग्लोबल ट्रेंड्स की. तो ग्लोबल ट्रेंड्स को हम दो पार्ट्स में डिवाइड कर सकते हैं. एक तो ऐसा ट्रेंड है जहाँ पे कि एक कॉम्प्रिहेंसिव लेजिस्लेशन है इन प्लेस एंड देर आर नो सेक्टर स्पेसिफिक लेजिस्लेशंस, बट ये जो पेरेंट लेजिस्लेशन है ये इटसेल्फ ही इट इज़ वेरी कॉम्प्रिहेंसिव इन नेचर कि ये सब कुछ ही कवर करता है, और जहाँ जब वो नहीं कवर करता वो एक लीवे, एक फ्लेक्सिबिलिटी देता है कि कुछ और इस कॉम्प्रिहेंसिव लेजिस्लेशन से बाहर जाके भी कुछ और रेगुलेशंस बन सकते हैं. उसके बाद जो सेकेंड टाइप ऑफ ग्लोबल ट्रेंड हमें देखने को मिलता है जो कि यूएस में है, विच इज़ सेक्टर स्पेसिफिक रेगुलेशंस. जो पहला कॉम्प्रिहेंसिव रेगुलेशन की हम बात कर रहे थे लीगल फ्रेमवर्क की, वो है यूके में. तो यूके में एज वी ऑल नो इट हैज़ द GDPR, which is the General Data Protection Regulation. It embodies the comprehensive approach, offering the strongest and the most stringent framework of data to date. So meanwhile, अगर हम दूसरे वर्ल्ड की बात करें, which is constituted in form of the United States when it comes to the data protection management or regulations or legal framework, so the sectoral approach is there. So सेक्टोरल अप्रोच के रिस्पेक्ट में मेरे पास दो लॉज की डिस्कशन करी हुई है इस आर्टिकल में. द फर्स्ट इज दे हैव द हेल्थ इंश्योरेंस पोर्टेबिलिटी एंड अकाउंटेबिलिटी एक्ट, and there's another for financial institutions. So this is just a patchwork of regulations which are tailored to specific industries. Now GDPR being a comprehensive despite being a comprehensive framework, it has specific provisions to cater to certain industries in form of आर्टिकल 9 जो कि हेल्थ केयर की बात करता है. एंड एडिशनली GDPR जो है वो परमिट करता है EU के मेंबर स्टेट्स को कि वो इम्प्लीमेंट कर सकते हैं कुछ और मेजर्स भी जो इस प्रोविजन के बियॉन्ड जाते हैं किसी स्पेसिफिक सिटी को एड्रेस करने के लिए. जर्मनी ने भी इसी रिस्पेक्ट में एक लीगल फ्रेमवर्क बनाया है जो कि इनफैक्ट और ज़्यादा स्ट्रिक्ट है व्हेन इट कम्स टू द प्रोविजंस एज कंपेयर टू द GDPR. एंड ऑल्सो यूरोपियन डेटा प्रोटेक्शन बोर्ड, which is the regulatory body, it is made up of representatives from each EU member states data protection authority. It provides guidance कि हम कैसे implement कर सकते हैं, interpret कर सकते हैं GDPR को, and it also includes कि GDPR कैसे sector specific issues को address कर सकता है. एंड जो अमेरिकन सेक्टोरल अप्रोच है उसमें कुछ लेक्युना है जो इस आर्टिकल में डिस्कस करे गए हैं. पहला तो ये है कि it is deemed flawed for various reasons, including inconsistent protection, problems in enforcement, overlapping and contradictory provisions, and a lack of federal regulation, leaving certain sectors unprotected. तो क्योंकि क्या हो रहा है कि different sectors के अपने अपने regulations हैं, there is no authority which is centered and which is looking after all of these. So कुछ sectors में है, कुछ sectors में नहीं है, there's lack of it, there's overlapping of it. which is resulting in contradictions and also unprotected, certain sectors being unprotected. So this creates confusion, and there is a coverage gap for business, and there is no centralized authority to enforce data protection laws, leading to a lack of regulation or standardization. Now, calls for a federal framework, they have become increasingly common even in the United States. The GDPR model, it may not work for India, the article suggests, as the data protection board, it is not designed, it is designed as a grievance agency, and ये एक regulator की तौर पे नहीं काम कर रही है जैसे कि GDPR में the board is working. The earlier version of the bill, the author says, with a Data Protection Authority of India, it may have been better suited as an independent regulatory, right, like the board that we have in UK, that UK has. So therefore, the current draft of the bill, the author says, while a major step towards ensuring the protection of the citizens' personal data, it needs greater clarity and specificity regarding the interaction with sectoral regulation, and we need to draw from our experiences to find the right balance. And as far as some of the examples in India are concerned, so we have रिजर्व बैंक ऑफ इंडिया का डायरेक्टिव है ऑन स्टोरेज ऑफ पेमेंट डेटा. सो पेमेंट डेटा है उनका स्टोरेज के रिस्पेक्ट में रिजर्व बैंक ऑफ इंडिया का एक डायरेक्टिव है. एंड देन देयर इज नेशनल हेल्थ अथॉरिटीज नेशनल हेल्थ डेटा मैनेजमेंट पॉलिसी. तो ये दो सेक्टर स्पेसिफिक रेगुलेशन के एग्जाम्पल है. एंड ऑथर का भी ये कहना है कि अगर हम एक जनरलाइज्ड जैसे बिल में प्रोविजन है अगर उनको इन्फोर्स कर देंगे तो उससे होगा क्या, जो इतने सालों की इंडस्ट्री एक्सपर्ट्स के साथ कंसल्टेशन करके ये जो रेगुलेशन बनाया गया है, ये तो फिर दे आर गोइंग टू बी रिडंडेंट. अगर कोई इनकन्सिस्टेंसी आ गई विद द बिल तो द बिल इज गोइंग टू प्रिवेल. तो इससे क्या होगा कि जो ऑल द टाइम एफर्ट विच दीज इंडस्ट्री एक्सपर्ट्स पुट इन टू प्रिपेयर दीज रेगुलेशंस, दैट इज मतलब दैट इज गोइंग टू बी डाउन प्लेड. एंड ऑल्सो ऑथर का ये कहना है कि अब अगर हम इस प्रोसेस से जो ऑलरेडी एग्जिस्टिंग रेगुलेशन है उनसे डेविएट करके नए फ्रेमवर्क में आएंगे तो जो इंडस्ट्री ऑलरेडी इन रेगुलेशन से ऑपरेट कर चुकी है, अपने आप को अडॉप्ट कर चुकी है, उनको नए रेगुलेशन में लाने के लिए this is again going to take a lot of time. And the parting note of the author is that the data protection bill, it must serve as the minimum layer of protection with sectoral regulators having the ability to build on these protections. तो इनका कहना है कि जो बिल है उसको हम एक फाउंडेशनल लेयर की तरह रखते हैं एंड बाकी सारे जो सेक्टर्स हैं उनको एक लीवे लिबर्टी देते हैं that you come up with your own regulations and then this is how we are going to go forward. This framework will be especially useful in India where not all the regulators may have the same capacity. Data protection is a complex subject and we must create room for sectoral experts to weigh in to safeguard the interest of the citizens more effectively. This will ensure a safer, more secure and a dynamic digital landscape in our country for years to come. So this is with respect to the TNA for today. अगर आपको फ्री स्टडी मटेरियल विच इज़ प्रोवाइड बाय LawSikho या फिर इस TNA स्लाइड्स का एक्सेस चाहिए, आई वुड रिक्वेस्ट ऑल ऑफ यू एंड आई वुड हाईली एनकरेज ऑल ऑफ यू टू जॉइन आवर टेलीग्राम चैनल, जिसका लिंक आपको इस वीडियो के यूट्यूब डिस्क्रिप्शन में मिल जाएगा और यू कैन स्कैन द बार कोड हियर. दीज आर द पॉइंट ऑफ कॉन्टैक्ट्स इन केस you want to get in touch with LawSikho. Also, yesterday's TNA daily quiz, the link of it is attached in the description of this YouTube video. Please attempt the same and keep a tab of your preparation. Thank you for being with us.